which this next match, I believe, is going to be the fastest match of the night. You're talking about the Great Khali versus Dolph Ziggler. These two guys have been working so hard for the last 2 months trying to build up a feud, and now is finally going to be headlining a pay-per-view, and I think they're not going to be given a fair shake here. I think it's going to be a very short match.
I think it has to be.
So who are you giving it to?
I'm going with Ziggler.
And why is that?
Just because the way they've been talking about him. If you ever listen to the commentary on SmackDown of how they've been describing Ziggler, Dolph, I mean, they seem to be impressed, and they seem to see that something big can happen with him. And I think that's the only reason why they're kind of putting him more with Khali, is just to show that he can hang with the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is his chance to actually win one clean. So I think this is it.
I think Ziggler is gonna cause some kind of commotion, and I think by I don't know, by him cheating his way to win, I think Dolph Ziggler is going to take it. I think somehow Khali is going to get cheated out on this. And
I think it's got to be a clean win, because the last couple of weeks he's been doing the like count out or something, or disqualification. You know, he's been winning in other ways. I think this one has to be a clean pin.
If Khali wins, I'm going to be very surprised, because there's really nothing Khali is going to be doing after this. But there is plenty of room for Ziggler to move on, and
right.
That's why I think Ziggler is going to go ahead and get this one, and he's going to improve and rank up in his way of being heel.
Yeah, it has to work that way. He has to win. But the only problem I have with him moving up is, how are you going to put him into the other storylines, which is I'm getting a little nervous about, that he's probably going to be stuck in a mid-card for a little while longer. But I think if Khali loses, this is a good opportunity to take him to another show. I think getting him off of SmackDown would help.
Probably.
He's got to go to Raw.
So here's the match that I've been teasing you about: the John Cena versus Miz match.
Yeah.
Who do you think who are you taking on this?
I'm gonna go with the Miz.
Why?
Just because I don't think people really are seeing what's happening with the Miz John Cena thing, how good it is, because it's not only just John Cena and the Miz. You had the show John Cena feud, which includes Miz interrupting that, which includes Maurice and Miz storyline, which includes that Maurice Mickey James. You have a lot of things all tied up together with this match, which makes sense. It's great. You got Maurice versus Mickey James, but you have the Miz who has interest in Maurice, and Maurice telling Miz, you have to do something big. What you're doing is not big enough. Which he's trying to fight John Cena, and John Cena has a little feud with Big Show. It's a big story. I love it. So I think I want to see the Miz win, and he's got to do something very big and exciting in this match to prove himself, to continue this big storyline, which is good.
Here's my take on it. I think John Cena is going to win it hands down.
Oh man.
Okay, there's no arguing that. But here's my spin on how the match is going to be played out and how it's going to be set up for next month's pay-per-view. Okay.
Okay.
Here it is. The Miz has been interfering with John Cena and the Big Show, causing no friends in this whole three-way thing. Okay?
Right.
Now, expect Show to return the favor here at the Bash, causing a disqualification on the Miz by interfering, and Cena will pick up the win by DQ. Now, what's going to happen is this. You're going to see that happen, and then it's going to set up the next pay-per-view, which is going to be a three-way match between John Cena, The Miz, and The Show. Expect that to happen.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it a mile away that this is how it's going to turn out.
But I'm going to have to stick with The Miz.
I would like to see The Miz win, and I would like to see.
I think if The Miz loses this Sunday, I think that feud was just a waste of time. It shows that. I mean, I understand. I see your point with a Big Show coming in and interrupting, but at the same time, it doesn't make that feud any stronger.
Now, if for some reason, if The Miz does win, this is and if I'm going to agree with you, The only part I'm going to disagree with you is that The Miz is going to win because the show causes Cena to be DQ'd, and therefore The Miz will win, and he wouldn't get the clean win as he, I don't know exactly if saying the words he deserves is right, but it would certainly throw a lot of people off. But I seriously think that Cena will pick up the win. I don't think he's going to job out to The Miz. Show's going to cause an interference, and then there you go. There's your next setup for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The Unified Tag Team Championship, Carlito and Primo versus Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Well, pick your winner.
There's really nothing behind this. There's nothing going to happen after this. So it's pretty much you pretty much can just take a coin and flip it because there's nothing building up after this. There's no tag team division. There's nothing there.
No, you're right.
If anything, I would have to say I would want to see Carlito and Primo win it just because they hold the titles. They're going to have some more spotlights on them. They're going to have more crowds cheered for them. You know what I mean? Because if they lose, then they're nothing. What are you going to do?
All right, so you're going
unless you separate them, but I'd rather see Legacy separate because I can see potential in the other two guys creating bigger storylines than Carlito and Primo.
Okay, so you're going with the Colognes.
We'll go with the Colognes.
I am going with this fact. Okay, let me tell you about this, and it's just probably going to break your heart, but the tag team Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase are no longer going to be called Priceless. They're going to strictly be called Legacy. There's even new T-shirts of Legacy that they're promoting. Okay? Now, with Randy Orton at top, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase right under him, I have a feeling that the tag team champions, the championships will change hands. Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase as Legacy will become the new tag team champions.
Wow.
That's my little spin on it. I could be wrong, but, it just looks that way.
That can actually work, though. I see your point on that, because then if you're saying Randy Orton will retain his title, right?
Right. And
then you have Legacy who's going to win the tag team.
Right.
It'd be a complete package.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're looking at Evolution again,
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks good. But I'm going to have to go with the Carlitos just because of the simple fact that if the Carlitos lose, what else are they going to do? Unless they start some kind of brother feud, which could be great.
Yeah, but I don't see that.
I don't see that working either because of the simple fact that they hardly get any time.
Yeah, and where are you going to fit them? Maybe
that's why I'm saying there's nothing really happening after this. It's good for the Legacy to lose this match.
Well, there you go. That kind of answers our question a little bit ago. Was how many faces do you see on SmackDown? You only see two that are main event cards worthy. Carlito was one, so they might want to push Carlito up and put Primo back in mid.
If they do that, that'd be great.
They might, but I think
I don't see it happening just because of the simple fact that you got Triple H returning, and there goes half of your show there.
Well, there, yeah, with the promos, in ring.
You'd have to go with the Primo and Carlito winning the title just so that you have champions to cheer for. Some champions to cheer for that are not, going to be taking too much time. They're going to come out, do some flashy moves, and get cheered, and boom, back to Triple H and Randy Orton thing.
Yeah, well, I think Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes, that's who I'm picking.
Okay.
Simple fact because of the stuff that just came in as far as name changes and T-shirts made and stuff like that. So
I didn't see that.
So anyway, that's our show. That's Ray's picks. That's our show.